He just couldn't sleep, And he kept thinking about how super nice the people in the little cottage were. Totally different from those scary, yucky villagers he met before. Oh, he wanted to go be with them so much. But he was just too scared. So he decided to stay hidden in his secret little spot, like a super-duper spy, to watch them and figure out all their amazing secrets. And guess what? The creature, he watched them every single day. He saw the young man working outside, and the girl always busy inside while the blind old man played music or just thought. He could tell they loved each other so much, but also that they were kinda sad sometimes. And seeing that made his own sad feelings not seem so strange anymore, like he wasn't the only one. And then, after a really long time, the creature finally figured out why the family was so sad. They were super poor and hungry. He saw how they always gave the old man their food first, which was so nice. So he stopped stealing and found his own food in the woods. But get this, he also started bringing them firewood, all secret-like. Every morning, they'd wake up and there'd be more wood, like magic, and they were so surprised. And then, wow! He found out they were talking! They made these amazing sounds like a secret magic, and he really wanted to learn how to do it. At first it was super confusing, but he watched and watched every single day, and after a long time, he started to get it. He could even say little words like fire and milk, and he learned their names too. Father for the old man, Agatha or sister for the girl, and Felix or brother for the young guy. Oh, all winter the creature felt so connected to them, like he was right there, sharing all their happy times and their sad times too. He watched the old man try so hard to make his kids smile, and Agatha, she always listened so nicely, but Felix was always so sad all the time. Still, Felix did sweet things, like finding the very first flower for Agatha or clearing her path. And guess what? The creature kept putting wood out for them secretly, and Felix never ever knew who was doing it. And guess what? The creature was trying so hard to learn all the people's words, even how to write them down, because he wanted to finally say hello. He thought if he was super smart, maybe they wouldn't even care what he looked like. But then, oh wow, he looked in a clear pool of water. And he saw himself, and he looked like a big, scary monster. He felt so sad, like his heart just broke. Oh, wow! When spring finally came, everything just transformed. The whole world burst with new life and activity. Felix got super busy, and no one had to worry about being hungry anymore, because the garden started growing all these amazing new plants. The old man and Felix went on walks every single day, and the creature was still secretly watching and helping them, feeling so happy and hopeful because nature was just so beautiful. Oh, wow, spring is just so beautiful, and something huge has happened to the creature. It's really changed him. He's watching the Lacey family in their cozy little cottage, but Felix, he's just so sad, even though the sun is shining. The old man plays his guitar, and the children are listening, but you can just see how much Felix is hurting inside. Guess what happened? A lady, all veiled and riding a horse, came right to the cottage asking for Felix. And then she lifted her veil, and oh wow, she was just so beautiful, like an angel. Felix was so incredibly happy, he called her his sweet Arabian. Isn't that amazing? He introduced her to everyone, and we all welcomed her right into our home. Gosh, Safie and the family had a tough time talking at first, like they spoke totally different secret languages. But even with that, just having Safie there made everyone so happy, and all their sad feelings just poof, disappeared. And then Safie started learning their words, which was super cool. It made him want to learn too, right along with her, so he could understand everything. Oh, when it got all dark and sleepy, Agatha and Safie went to bed super early, but Felix and his papa, they stayed up talking and talking for ages. And the creature, he was listening so hard, and he figured out they were talking all about Safie, 'cause they kept saying her name over and over again. He really, really wanted to know what they were saying more than anything. And then, the very next morning, after Felix went to work, Safie started playing her guitar and singing, and oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. It made the big guy cry, like happy sad tears all at once. He was so moved. Then Agatha played a little tune, and the old man, he just loved their music so much. Agatha even tried to tell Safie all about it. Oh, and then the days just kept going, all happy and peaceful in their cozy little cottage. Safie and the big creature, they both started learning to talk super, super fast. But you know what was really amazing? The creature got so good, he could understand and say almost every single word his friends spoke. Safie was still talking a little bit funny, but he was like a talking machine. Felix taught Safie from this super old book, Volney's Ruins of Empires, and he explained everything. And guess what? The creature, he learned so much just by listening. He found out all about history and huge empires and how people govern and all the different cultures everywhere. Even the really sad story of America and what happened to everyone there. Wow! The stories he heard made him feel all funny inside, like he was trying to figure out people. He just couldn't get how humans could be so super strong and good and amazing, but then also be so mean and yucky at the same time. He didn't understand why there was killing or rules, and he totally turned away, all grossed out by all the bad stuff and fighting. Wow! So he was learning all about humans, like who has cool houses and lots of friends and who's super important. But then he looked at himself and realized he didn't have any of that. No money, no buddies, no place to call his own. And he was so different looking, not like anyone else. So he started to wonder, was he a monster? Like, would everyone just run away and say, "Ooh, no," and never want him around? Oh, he learned so much, but it made him feel a big ouchie in his heart, wishing he'd just stayed ignorant in his woods. He thought the people in the little house were so good and kind, like the best people ever, and he loved watching them. But he knew he couldn't ever be with them, like he was stuck outside forever. And the more he watched them, hiding and peeking, the more he wanted to be friends and play. But he knew all their happy smiles and nice words were never, ever going to be for him. And then he learned all about families and how moms and dads love their kids so much. But wow, that just made him feel so sad. He realized he didn't have a mommy or a daddy, or any cousins or anything, and he'd never, ever seen anyone who looked like him, not even a little bit. So he didn't know who he was. He kept asking, "What was I? What was I?" over and over. But all he could do was make these big, sad groans. Can you imagine? And then he said he'd tell us all about how he felt, like really soon. He was gonna go back to talking about the cottagers, the super nice people. He felt all sorts of things for them. Sometimes a little mad, but mostly super happy and amazed. And he loved them so much. He even thought they were like his secret guardians.